This is apparently like a really, really big update for Ashes of Creation. They've been doing server meshing, and this is something that we saw a version of it with Star Citizen, but now you've got an even bigger version right here. Let's take a look.
Hey, what up, boys? So today was a rather unexpectedly poggy stream, as we were treated not only to an incredibly detailed showcase of their server tech systems, allowing for a next-generation, massively multiplayer open world, but we also got an announcement of Alpha 1 key holders finally getting into the game to test this exciting new tech. But before we get into that, our beautiful patrons and coped out the wazoo Twitch subs and I would love for you to grab yourself a Kyola, because Alpha 2 is approaching fast, my friends, and oh boy, I am super excited to finally get into this game in a few weeks. But enough about that, we can talk about that in later videos, because today we've got a copium-filled live stream to go through. Now, with all that bollocks out of the way, let's begin, shall we?
A breakdown by the dented one.
Okay, so as stated in the intro, this live stream was very technical, but I will attempt to break down this over 2-hour showcase into a nice, neat, tidy package for you to digest. Obviously, server meshing is our topic this month, and Intrepid went into a lot of depth about how they're...
So there's gonna be one realm for the entire game. Thank fucking God. That is actually a best case scenario. Straight up. It's not going to work? Yeah, but I'm glad people are trying it. Even if it doesn't work, I'm glad it's being tried. So yeah, there goes the FPS. I mean, fuck. I'm so happy to see this.
Tech works and what goes on behind the scenes, as most companies do not reveal such important back-end information. If you're not very tech savvy or genuinely don't care, hey, listen, I don't blame you, because even I had a hard time wrapping my head around this one. The TLDR was basically broken into 3 segments. An introduction to what networking tech actually is for an MMORPG, the problems modern MMOs tend to have when trying to render a massively amount of players, and Intrepid's next-generation solutions to such problems. We'll of course skip over the first 2 segments and jump straight into Intrepid's solutions. Server gridding is the name of their server meshing technology, and Ashes of Creation's Intrepid Tech, as they've dubbed it, has approached the problems differently to current...
I wonder if they're gonna have layers. You know, like how in WoW you can be on the same place as somebody else, but you're on a different layer so you don't see them? So there's gonna be no layers, no servers. Everybody is in the same fucking place at the same time. I'll believe that shit when I see it. And I want to fucking see it. I want to see it so fucking much. Oh, I want to see it. But we're going to have to find out.
Server meshing technology, like Star Citizen. As we discussed in our videos leading up to this stream, Star Citizen uses a replication layer to keep the persistence between a server transfer. However, this has been entirely removed in Ashes of Creation, and they have instead replaced it with a completely different approach that I won't get into the details because, let's be honest, it's a bunch of bullshit that we don't really care about. Just trust me, bro, it works, is pretty much the gist. Unfortunately, the lack of a replication layer also creates a problem. Without a replication layer, one server cannot communicate to another server on the other side of the world. Therefore, Intrepid have created a brand new concept known as microservices, which can be visualized like additional servers floating above the standard ones that communicate all the information to one another. And now we get on to the final solution, solving the large numbers of players coming together in one location dynamically. Dynamic server meshing. The problem Star Citizen has been stuck on for many, many years, sinking...
This is the problem that's holding back MMOs generally. I think that people love the idea of an MMO, but they hate the idea of an MMO where there are different servers. I actually think that New World, one of the big reasons why that game died is because of servers. I think that WoW also died a lot and lost a lot of players because of servers. Servers should never be a limitation, and there's never an advantage to having a server that, like, actually exists to a player. It's simply a technological limitation.
Hundreds of millions of dollars into it, and they still have yet to solve it. Ashes of Creation are approaching this in a slightly different way again, through the concept that they call dynamic gridding. Without going too in-depth, it is basically just splitting the already static server grid into additional, smaller servers within the same grid. And the most interesting part about this is that it isn't 5 years away either. The team are aiming to have this dynamic gridding ready and live for the Alpha 2 launch, just a couple of months away.
I'll believe it when I see it. I want to see it.
Intrepid currently have a plan on how to accomplish dynamic gridding, or is it just we want it but don't know how?
Right now, dynamic gridding is in place. Right now, what we are doing is we are optimizing, fixing performance around that, and the current goal, which is on target, is that dynamic gridding will be online by the start of Alpha 2. All of our tech was built to get to the point where we can do dynamic gridding. This has always been the end goal overall. So dynamic gridding is still in active development right now, but
I bet they probably can do this because Blizzard does this with like the way that they do servers. Like Blizzard servers are bad, but like the fundamental of like changing servers and like, you know, phasing to different places, it seems really easy. Or not really easy, but it seems really like that they're doing it very well, right?
The plan is that by Alpha 2 entrance criteria, we will have dynamic gridding in a bug-sturdy place that is optimized and working as we need it.
Now, the rest of the presentation was just kind of yapping about tick rates and other bullshit, so I won't go too deeply into it, as it's pretty nerdy for the general audience. What I recommend, though, if you are interested in this next-generation tech, is to watch the full 1 hour and 20-minute presentation, because obviously a balding middle-aged man cannot do Intrepid's work justice in just a single 10-minute video. Therefore,
I don't really understand a lot of the server tech. Like, I can understand, like, a philosophy of it, but, like, I don't know the details. This is nuts, though.
We'll be following this brief breakdown into a much more in-depth video later this month, so I'd appreciate your support trying to digest this information by subscribing and tuning in to that upcoming video. Now, we'll conclude today's breakdown with the rest of the stream information related to the studio update and artwork. First up, the studio update went into a very interesting discussion about Alpha 2 key sales. So apparently, because of this server meshing technology, Intrepid can now host many more players and many more servers. Therefore, the Alpha 2 key sales are coming back. However, they're not coming back in the state that we had them before. No more FOMO cosmetics. We think they're just coming back as a key sale on their own at a much lower price. The information is coming soon.
Yeah, they got a lot of criticism for that, because if you donated $500 to the project, they would say that you were guaranteed Alpha 2 access or Alpha 1 access. And a lot of people started turning it into being like, oh, well, playing the game costs $500, which is like, it was true, but I don't really think that was like the purpose of it. It was like kind of like what I assumed to be kind of like one of those like intentional misunderstandings where it's like, I'm going to deliberately misunderstand what you're trying to say so that I can get mad at you. I don't think it was a big deal, but it's not a surprise that they're going to get rid of it.
So, yeah, I'll keep you guys informed with that. In addition, as mentioned
update.
in the intro, the Alpha 1 key holders are getting into the game soon as this month, apparently, with some NDA tests. Finally, they did leak what the end of this month's livestream topic is. Coming in just 3 weeks, by the way, so not long to wait. And yes, that's right, the Bard is finally being revealed. And Stephen almost dropped the ball about something else Margaret was concerned with, so we're also likely getting the character creator at the end of the month too. Sadly, the artwork update wasn't too interesting. Just a few pieces of armor to go through, including the Helm of the Grove, the Cloak of Ill Omens, and a new armor set featured by the male Pyre model. Pretty cool stuff. And that's pretty much everything from this month's live.
One Realm is crazy. One Realm is fucking nuts. Like whenever I hear that, I think to myself, there's no fucking way, man. Because like it's what I've always wanted, but at the same time, it's like I just don't even want to believe it to be true because of how extreme that type of a promise is. I really want this to happen. Show me the proof. Well, I want to see the game. I want to play the proof. I don't want to have somebody show it to me. I want to see it. This is a total scam. Well, then don't spend money on it, right? Like, I mean, it's pretty simple. If you think the game's a scam, then don't spend money on it. I don't think that, like, as somebody who's followed this for many years, I don't think that there is any data to prove that it is a scam. I also don't think that there's any crazy data to prove that it's not really a scam. I think that at the same time, you just have to look at it, make an educated decision with your money and with your time and with your energy, and then make a decision based off of that. I really don't think it's that complicated.
Stream. As usual, we'll be deep diving the stream frame by frame over
just don't
at
pre-order them.
twitch.tv/Narcoverse, so come join us for some copium takes as Alpha 2 approaches over the next couple of months, because you're high on copium.
I really hope this game is going to be good. I do. I hope it's going to be good. I hope so much this game is going to be fun. I don't know if it's going to happen. I have a very good feeling that, you know, they'll have a lot of problems in the alpha. But, like, this game is probably one of the... It has, like, the highest ceiling of being promising and really fun than, like, any other MMO that's been announced in a long time. So, yeah, Ashes will break some MMO records. I don't think it'll break MMO records, just because the game is... Ashes of Creation is a very popular game on YouTube and on like in the inside the MMO community. But every game that breaks records, the reason why is because those games are just simply really, really popular, right? They're insanely popular, and they break out of that mold and they hit everybody, right? They get everybody to start looking and talking about those games. So yeah, like Riot MMO will break records. It absolutely will. But besides that, I can't really say. I'll link you guys the video. Narc is great. Like he's struggling, man. Like he's playing this fucking game, and like there's no new content for the game. Bro, give him some support. He needs it. He streams a lot. He actually played PAX Day. He did a lot of stuff with PAX Day as well. And yeah, hopefully the game comes out soon for him, man. I do. GTA 6 will break records? Yeah, I think so. I think it probably will. You're right about that. Yeah, we help him out. Yeah. Focus copium. Yeah, exactly. And I think that also, like, a lot of people are, like, very enthusiastic to say that the game is a scam. I think one of the reasons for that is because people are so tired of being disappointed by MMOs. They're so tired of getting excited about a new game, and then 1 month before the launch of the game, they announce the pay-to-win system, and it's like the game's bad, and it comes out and it sucks, right? Nobody likes it. So I think what ends up happening is people have that happen a few times, and then they start to be very untrusting, you know, everything like that, and they're like now kind of negative about it, etc. Interview with Steven soon. I mean, I would love to, after the Alpha 2 comes out, I'd love to do an interview like with like Steven or like with their team and talk about kind of like what they're thinking for the game. And if I do that, obviously I'm going to take a lot of questions from you guys. So, you know, I'll make like a YouTube, you know, not YouTube, like a fucking like Reddit list where people can like upvote questions that they want to see happen and want to see asked. And I'll try to ask those questions myself, because I feel like it's a very popular, like MMOs. I don't think that it's a coincidence that every popular isekai functions under MMO terminology and MMO logic. Almost every single one of them does. It's because people want to like these games. They want these games to be the future. That's why they're watching shows about them, because the game itself doesn't exist yet.